You probably shouldn't chase passive income. That sounds wrong. Because everywhere you look, passive income is sold as the goal. Make money while you sleep. Escape your job. Build multiple streams. Financial freedom. It sounds intelligent. It sounds ambitious. It sounds like you're thinking long-term. But most people chasing passive income aren't building freedom. They're building distraction. They scroll, they watch, they research, they jump, they start, they quit, they pivot, they repeat, and they call it strategy. It's not strategy, it's avoidance. Let's say something clearly. Passive income is not a starting point, it's an outcome. And outcomes don't come before strength. They come after it. Most people don't want to hear that. They want a shortcut. They want to skip the grind phase and jump straight to the money works for me phase. But passive income only works if something else already works. If your income isn't strong, if your savings aren't strong, if your discipline isn't strong, passive income will expose you. Because real passive income requires three things: capital, ownership, or systems. And none of those appear out of thin air. Capital requires surplus. Surplus requires discipline. Ownership requires risk. Risk requires competence. Systems require skill. Skill requires time. So when someone making average income tries to build 5 passive income streams at once, what they're really doing is scattering effort. They're trying to multiply before they've stabilized. And multiplication without a base creates collapse. Here's the part. Nobody explains online. Most passive income strategies look passive from the outside, but on the inside, they are built on years of concentrated effort. That rental property, research, financing, negotiation, management, risk. That dividend portfolio, years of investing, years of restraint, years of not spending. That YouTube channel, hundreds of uploads, years without traction, delayed reward. The passive part comes later, much later. And most people don't make it that far because they get bored. Boredom is the filter. Disciplined people tolerate boredom. Average people chase stimulation. Passive income content is stimulating. It feels productive to research 10 ideas. It feels smart to diversify. It feels proactive to start something new. But starting is not building. Building is repetition. Building is staying with one scalable thing long enough for it to compound. If you're constantly asking, what's the next passive income stream? You're asking the wrong question. The better question is, what is the strongest base I can build? Because the strongest passive income strategy for most people isn't sexy. It's increasing your primary income. It's living below your means. It's investing consistently. It's avoiding lifestyle creep. It's focusing on one skill that pays more over time. That's boring, and that's why it works. Let's separate identity here. Average people chase streams. Disciplined people build reservoirs. Streams look exciting. Reservoirs create power. A reservoir takes time to fill, but once it's full, it's stable. That's what capital does. Capital gives you options. Options create leverage. Leverage creates passive income. But if you don't have capital, you don't have leverage. And if you don't have leverage, you don't have passive income. You just have side hustles. And side hustles are fine, but they are not freedom. Freedom comes from control. Control comes from stability. Stability comes from focus. And focus requires saying no to 90% of opportunities. That's the uncomfortable part. Because the internet rewards novelty, but wealth rewards consistency. So you probably shouldn't chase passive income. You should build strength. Strengthen your income. Strengthen your habits. Strengthen your patience. Strengthen your capital. Then, you deploy that strength strategically. One rental, one business, one portfolio. One scalable asset. Stack slowly. Reinvest aggressively. Ignore the noise. Let compounding do the heavy lifting. Because passive income isn't magic, it's math. And math rewards discipline, not excitement. If you're constantly anxious about your passive income strategy, it's probably not passive. If it requires daily stress, it's not freedom. If it feels like chaos, it's not leverage. Real passive income feels boring, stable, predictable, calm. And that calm only comes from building the base first. If you want quick hacks, this isn't your channel. If you want real leverage, subscribe. Not for motivation, for structure, for discipline, for long-term thinking in a short-term world. Because this channel is for people who are done pretending they're building wealth and ready to actually do it. Decide which one you are, then act accordingly.